Gentlemen, and our demographic is largely male here at the network, but to all the men that are watching the show, whether you're at work, you're working in a school, if you're anywhere public, do me a favor, adjust yourself accordingly, because what we're about to show you could affect your feelings for the next few minutes.
Stop.
Alex? Hendon Hooker dropping back to pass, and he throws the football. Can we just keep it on loop? Hendon Hooker drops back, he throws the football. Avoid the temptation of an erection. I know what you're thinking right now. Men, stop it. Look at this. Dime. That is the future quarterback of the Detroit Lions. If you paid attention to Twitter last night.
Beautiful.
He should be starting day one, even without an ACL in his leg. Completely healed. He should start day one over Jared Goff.
I just had to relax a little bit there.
No ACL necessary.
I don't have one,
Yeah, well,
I figure it out.
I don't have either of mine.
Really?
Yeah.
I tore both too. Look at me and Gabby. There you
No,
go.
I was just saying that I don't have an ACL in my body.
What the fuck does that mean?
I was kidding.
Oh,
Adam, like,
I was like, this is a proud moment for me. I'm like, somebody knows what I go through.
It's not just you.
Nope. Her knees are intact. She doesn't have pain when she goes up the stairs. Nothing.
When I saw this video, I didn't overreact. Clearly, I mean, it's like who was that? One of the assistant coaches or one of the I don't even know.
Looked like a water boy, but sure.
No, he catches all the footballs.
Okay, so he's on the staff.
He's the one that when they're kicking, you hear him. He's actually very agile. You hear his little feet shuffle.
Yeah,
and then he's whoop.
He was moving.
He's in shape.
He was moving on that play. Regardless, I mean, there's not much to take away from this, but honestly, and this is great, just to see Hendon Hooker playing football again. I know
How much
it's not,
that turn you on?
I know it's not. What? Seeing Hendon Hooker?
Yeah, throwing a football. That's a big deal. Breaking news here in Detroit.
I mean, excuse me when I see Hooker throwing balls that I don't get excited.
That doesn't sound right.
I mean,
There's no way around it.
Yeah,
I know. I can't wait. Some commentator's going to slip up in the future if Hendon Hooker ever enters the game. Oh, God. I can't wait for it.
How do you not get excited? Not saying Hendon Hooker is the franchise quarterback, but you know he's a damn good quarterback. You know he's coming off an ACL injury. He's 25 years old, but he's ready to play. So as long as he gets fully healed, he'll be over there. And the fact that Gabby and Broder have been talking about this too, him just being locked in behind Goff, watching practice, being locked in, that's like the most he can do right now. Yeah, that's all he can do right now, but it's awesome to see. He's a student of the game.
I'm not going to freak out over him holding a clipboard or now throwing a football after practice, number one. Number two, if there is a day and he's out on the field, I can't envision what it will sound like when he's running on the sideline. Look at that Hooker go.
Oh,
he's running the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown! It's a Hooker touchdown. Can't wait. I can't wait.
I want a Hooker jersey right now, honestly.
Well, I got the hookup.
I love it. Listen, you don't have to overreact to it, but it is nice to see him just slinging it.
He's in the right direction.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for him. I mean,
he threw a football and it looked nice. I'm happy.
Listen,
no, I'm happy. I know what Hendon Hooker is. I saw him at Tennessee. All right? He tore up his knee. Let him take his time. I'm not going to sit here and freak out every time I see a video of him throwing a football. Okay? I saw him play big games at Tennessee. I like the dude. He's a great insurance policy. I don't want to talk about Hendon Hooker unless Jared Goff gets decapitated this season.
And at that point, you might not even see Hendon. Who knows with how his knees I don't know if he's going to play this year. He could,
I would
potentially.
say by October he would. If emergency, I think they would consider it. Okay. Not a guarantee, but I think they would consider it in October.
We'll get more answers to that when training camp comes around, because they're being so careful with so many players and like not pushing anyone that may or may not be injured, has the potential of being injured, maybe on that line. I mean, you have 20 players that are out in these practices right now, so we're not going to see them involve him more until training camp comes around. If they do, that'll give us better time.
And selfishly, although this wouldn't be ideal, and I don't expect they'll do this, but I want to see a little bit of Hendon Hooker in the preseason. I don't think it'll happen because it's not worth the risk, but just to see him out there again would be awesome. I know they're not, and it's probably not worth the risk, to be honest with you, especially in his first season. But I can't wait to see this kid play, man. I mean, he's going to go out there and ball when he's called upon. And he's got plenty of time to learn from Jared Goff. And for people that are saying, don't overreact to Hendon Hooker throwing a football, when you see Jared Goff throw a football, there's always complaints. Oh, he can't throw a spiral. And it's in everyone's in PJs and they're complaining about Jared Goff. So excuse me for complimenting Hendon Hooker. Anyways. I agree. I don't take anything away from OTA's minicamp with how the offense is doing and all that. You wait till training camp. But regardless, it's awesome to see him out there. It is.
Gabby, what are they saying about him in terms of workload? What are they going to let him do from now up until training camp? Because they're about to go away for a bit.
It hasn't been a huge part of the conversation. The media in the room has laid off the questions about his plan, what they're going to do. I know he had that interview last week with Dave Burkett, and he said, he's going to continue what he's doing. He's on the right path. He's on a training plan. He's going to get better. He's already over that point. He's progressing more than he expected to, progressing at a better rate. But it hasn't come up that much, to be honest, which I think is good. What are we going to get? How much can we push? It's really going to depend on how quickly he is personally progressing.
Right.
So we'll see.
We'll see indeed. I can't wait. I can't wait for this to be a non-story. Jared Goff is going to be too busy leading this team to an NFC North title. And I hope he doesn't prove me wrong. Because that would be a disaster.
Yeah, I think the last thing the Lions want is Jared struggling.
I think the last thing Lions fans want is Jared Goff forcing their hand to go to Hendon Hooker.
No, yeah,
and again,
you don't want that.
Every fan base is like this. It's not just Lions fans. Any fan base that drafts a quarterback in the 3rd round and they don't have one of the guys, they're going to sit there and say, oh, well, maybe one day. What if he is? What if he could be? What if this? What if that? It's all what ifs. Let me see what I got in Jared Goff, okay? Let me identify a ceiling before I even consider replacing him. And if that means after this year, it's only winning a playoff game and winning a division title, and the following year they do one or the other, and you don't see yourselves ever competing in an NFC title game, well, then you have to evaluate. Well, what's the problem? Is it coaching? Is it the defense? Is it not good enough? Injuries? Is it quarterback play? Costly turnovers? What is it? We're not going to know any of this. So let Hendon Hooker take his time. I'm in no rush. God bless him. I'm happy he can throw football. That's the bare minimum I expect. I would expect it looks like that with no pads, nobody coming after him.
Right.
I can drop a dime. I can drop a dime in that situation too. Twitter wouldn't call for me to take Jared Goff's job.